Alright, and I believe we are now live. We've got a BNSF mixed freight, a Santa Fe passenger train, a streetcar, and somewhere out in the back there's a second BNSF mixed freight. It's coming around right over there. Anyway, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, so it's good to be back. I'm gonna quickly set it to live chat here as to read everybody's messages. Hopefully some people will join in soon enough. Sure, later on there'll probably be some requests for some different locomotives. I've already got this one all ready to go. A whole bunch of people joining in. Welcome, everybody. A lot of members joining. Welcome. Trying to think if there's been any upgrades to the layout since the last live stream. I haven't done anything too major because I was working on the whole O-scale video, if you saw that recently, which required doing some stuff in that room. I would like to get working on the HO layout soon enough. Nicholas the Train Kid, thank you for becoming a member for 7 months. I do appreciate it. Can you run 4316? Which one is that? Let me see some of the British engines. Yeah, sure. Got a few of them over here. Got this guy, which I got in a junk lot. I'm gonna have to start writing the type of locomotive on the bottom. That would be helpful. Got a couple of steam engines. Got your Intercity 125. I really like this one. Got some other British engines throughout the collection, but I need to organize all that. Right here's like a Mallard. Got 2 DCC locomotives for only $100, one being brand new. It's a Walthers SD60M with DCC and sound, and also a Proto 2000 SW9 with DCC. Well, that sounds like a pretty darn amazing. Do you have a Canadian National Zebra? Yeah, I do have a few of those. See if I can find one. You run a Tyco Sharknose? Sure. And Nicholas the Train Kid says run the Union Pacific, the big Union Pacific diesel. Okay, so the Centennial. Sure thing. So there's the Centennial. This one has some electrical issues. We're just going to give it a ton of voltage. It will be fine. As for a Tyco Sharknose, definitely got a few in the collection. I'm just not sure which one would be the best for this. I wonder if this one would start. You're gonna need more shelves between the shelves you have. It would be pretty easy to add more layers to this. I feel like this was a homemade shelf. I don't know, just it looks a bit amateurish in places. Not that I would do any better, but yeah, definitely room for improvement. Can you review one of the Walthers starter sets? I already did a review on one, but I would be happy to review another Walthers train set. The last one I got was pretty good. And it looks like we got another super chat. Let's see if I can find that. Hey, SMT, I love your videos. I'm getting close to getting enough track for a tiny layout. There's 5 rolling stock. Could you run both your AWVR engines? Yes, I think I can make that happen. And yeah, congratulations on getting enough materials to build a layout soon. I'm sure that will be a fun process. And honestly, just getting the materials and stuff can be a lot of fun in itself. Collecting everything until you finally start to put it together. Mike Merritt's welcome. Harrison, things are looking great at your place. Steffi and I are happy to see how far you've come. Yeah, well, you guys were both here back when I was like, what, 17 years old? It's been a while. Are you gonna make a G gauge layout? Yes, I've already bought all the track for that. I just need to put it all together. And it's gonna be outdoors, which is gonna be exciting. I didn't get the exact track I wanted, but I got some pretty good deals, so it's going to be enough to build something for now, and then I think over time, when funds are a little more available, I'll invest in it and expand it, put proper curves on it. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the $50 super chat there, Jim. Here's a little to help your show. Love the repair videos. Well, thanks a bunch. I really do appreciate it, and it will be put to good use. I don't know what specifically, but whether it goes into this layout or into one of the repair projects or something, it will be part of that. So thank you very, very much. Can't wait to see you tackle a bigger scale. It's going to be fun. Personally, I really like the outdoors, and the garden shed, which I'm planning on building this in, has taken a lot of work. Back last fall, I was burning a ton of pallets and things like that. And then this spring, I took a bunch of stuff out of there. And then my dad ended up coming over, and we took care of the rest of it. And it turned out everything, there was so much garbage in that shed, it actually went down a foot below the earth. So we had to dig down to that. And then to make up for the space from removing everything, we got a bit of stone delivered. So the shed is looking really nice. I just need to get enough material together to assemble the track. Now, as requested, we're going to see if we can pull this train with our classic Tyco shark nose. If this doesn't work, I think we'll just move on to those unstoppable locomotives. I think we got another super chat. Carbon I am. Also, for your expansion, how many locomotives do you have approximately? I don't have exact numbers on it. I think it's somewhere around 700. It's hard to say because I'm always buying huge lots of them, but I also give away a bunch of them or sell off some of the ones I buy to my local hobby shop. So I'm going to have to do another count at some point, but if I had to take a guess, it would be about 700. But thank you so much for the $50 super chat. You guys are just going wild tonight. Thanks a lot for that. As I mentioned for the other one, it will be put to good use for something on here, probably the layout expansion. Maybe investing in some oils for my Power Torque. I'll give it a chance. Really like the layout, thank you. It's been a minute. Do you have any Alaska engines? If so, can you run one? I've got an Alaska snowplow, which is powered, so technically so. I can definitely run that. I'll put the Unstoppable engines on first, but I'll put that in the queue. I'm pretty sure there was another thing I was supposed to run, which I'm going to try to remember. Do you have Union Pacific 3901? I've asked for ages. You said you don't have it here yet. Do you have it, or did you destroy it? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know which engine that is. Definitely didn't just destroy it, though. Is the Power Torque four-wheel drive? Yes, it is. What's your thoughts on the Canadian Pacific Kansas City scheme? It's a bit too minimalist for my taste, but I feel like it's also, on the other hand, getting a bit too much hate. Like, to me, it looks a lot like the AWVR paint scheme. I don't think it's that bad. I feel like they just should have added a bit more detail to it. You still have the Super Duper Chief. Can you run it? Yeah, I still have that. Just trying to figure out where the two AWVR locomotives are. It might be... There's one of them. Okay, I see them both. SMT, I had an idea for your car. What if you introduced your Oldsmobile through a Top Gear style car review? That would be cool to do, but honestly, I've never been an automotive channel, at least for real cars and things like that. I like a lot of automotive channels. I like watching like Junkyard Digs and Lance Mechanics and a bunch of other ones there. But what I'm hoping is that something cool pops up on Facebook Marketplace, and I could do a video of going to pick it up with the Oldsmobile, because the Oldsmobile has a big trunk, and it would just be awesome. You know, I could show like starting the car, driving there, popping open the trunk, loading up all the trains, and then driving it all home. I will include the Oldsmobile in a video at some point, though. It's been requested so many times, I have to do it. As much as Tyco Power Torques are not the highest quality, it's crazy that this thing was just hacking up a lung and now it's running fine. Just needed a little bit of time to warm up and now it's great. Train haul on Facebook Marketplace. They do come up sometimes. It's just a matter of finding one that's a reasonable distance and a good price, because a lot of people will find their old train collection from the 70s and list it for like $300 when it's usually worth more like 50 bucks. But once in a while, you find a good deal. So, yeah, if I find one locally, I'll do a video hauling it home with the Oldsmobile. The Snowmobile? No, the Snowmobile is different from the Oldsmobile. I already did a video driving to the train store on a Snowmobile. Do you think you could fit all your trains in the Oldsmobile? I could probably fit all my HO engines in the trunk of the Oldsmobile if I was just packing them in there without any bubble wrap. Looks like another super chat has arrived. Wait a minute, where is it? Here we go. It's from Sean H. Really like the layout updates from Clayton and Rhett. Thank you very much, Clayton and Rhett. If you use the Oldsmobile to get a set on Marketplace, get O-Gauge, it seems fitting. Something from the 70s would be nice. If I could find some kind of like a Tyco set, or even an old Bachmann or Lifelike set, or an old Lionel, something from the maybe Lionel MPC era would be good for the Oldsmobile, it being a 79. It was pretty fun. About a month and a half ago, my parents were having a dinner party, and I hadn't even realized some family friends had bought a classic car. They had a 1980 Mercedes, I don't know what, which is also a project car. And so it was funny having a 1979 Oldsmobile with a 1980s Mercedes both in the driveway. Pretty fun stuff. It's good to talk to another classic car owner and talk about the joys and problems that they have. Like a 280 SL. It was something like that. It was a convertible of some kind. All right, I think we'll take the shark nose off and get the AWVR engines going here. What's the new shed in the yard? That's the locomotive shed off the previous layout, which I finally added back on. Just done watching one of your old live streams. Oh, right on. Glad people still watch those. Sometimes I'll go back for nostalgia's sake and see some of the older live streams, see how the layout was at that time. I like how the Santa Fe engine powered down and now it's just gotten going again on its own. All right. Mine is a 1965 Cutlass convertible. That's lucky. The thing about the car I have is that I love it, but it's not in any way sporty like a Cutlass. Like, it's just a 80s, well, 70s, 80s era land yacht. That's great though. 6-seater, which is nice if you want to bring people around. Funny how you call a 1980 a classic. Well, yeah, I know the definition of a classic car varies. I know some people say a car has to be like 50 to be considered a classic, and others say it's less. But at least in my province of Quebec, we consider a car over 25 a classic. Oh, this is already derailed. Which is a really good thing, because the province considers a car over 25 a classic, it abides by different laws. So, for example, you can't import certain Japanese cars into Quebec until they're 25, and then once they're 25, because the laws are different around classics, then you're allowed to bring them in here. So there are people driving around like K-trucks and stuff here only because they're over 25. Same in the USA. Oh, that's interesting. I imagine it must vary state by state. Because to be honest, I don't know if it's the same rule in Ontario or any of the other Canadian provinces. I thought Canada has a 15+ import law. I don't know, it varies from province to province, so in my case, in Quebec, if you want to bring a car in from the US or even from another province like Ontario, you have to get it safetied. So if you're trying to bring in a classic car, because most of them have been modified or are not in perfect condition, that's really hard to do. But if you buy a car within the province, they don't require any safety. So you can buy a really sketchy car within Quebec and, technically you don't have to worry about it. But you have to get it appraised. So when I bought the Oldsmobile, the guy I bought it from said, my friend's a mechanic, he can appraise it. And he came over and gave me a price for it. And I took that down to the SAAQ and got it registered. But it was way easier to buy a classic car within the province just because you avoid all that import stuff. USA is 25 years. Interesting. What's all the foliage and terrain made out of? It's just grass material which you can buy for your layout. I'm pretty sure it's foam. I think it's actually like kind of the same foam that they use to make seats and things like that. They just shred it up. It's not great stuff to breathe. Would you have an old police cruiser if you could, like an 80s or 90s one? It couldn't be confused with an actual one. Like the car from the Blues Brothers? Absolutely, I'm sure that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know if it's still in the area, but I remember there used to be these people, and they had an old, not a Crown Vic, but like a Ford Taurus, which was an ex-cop car, and it obviously didn't have the lights or anything. It still had the lights on the side, and they used to park it on a corner so that when people would come speeding around, they'd be like, oh crap, it's the cops, and slam on their brakes. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I always knew going around that corner whose car it was, but yeah, they really like to mess with people. The U.S. put restrictions on the auto industry in 1973, ending the muscle car era. Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of the reason, because my Oldsmobile is a 79, that it's not very powerful, at least in terms of horsepower. It's a 6.6 liter V8 that makes 185 horsepower, and it drives me crazy because you see these comparisons on Facebook where somebody will say, oh, here's a 6-liter V8 and it only makes 150 horsepower, and then here's a Japanese 2-liter engine that makes 400, which is true. It's impressive you can get 400 horsepower out of a 2-liter engine. But what they leave out of that equation is that in the 60s, there was American muscle cars that were already making 450 horsepower. So it's not really that the American auto industry didn't know how to make powerful cars. It's that they were trying to meet emission regulations. The oil crisis was going on. Like, there's so much stuff that they were trying to get around. So yeah, the engines are so choked off. The 2 liters turbocharged. Yeah, turbocharged, and also probably fuel injected. I think the AWVR engine derailed again. It's funny how it's derailing in that corner. I don't remember it having problems there. Do you like putting things on the sidings to make the main line look busy? Yeah, that's part of it. Grandpa owned a Dodge Charger in his time. He bought it for $175. That's wild. That would never happen today. My granddad in the 70s had a 71 Dodge Charger with the 440. My grandmother loved it. She'd use it to go buy ice cream because it was the fastest car in the family. You could go to downtown Ottawa and back to Gatineau quick enough before it melted. That's what she always said. What DC transformers do you recommend? I'm a pretty big fan of some of the older MRC controllers. So the 9500 series is pretty much like the Cadillac of controllers. They're really nice. But there are some other good ones as well. The double cab controller that they have and the Tech 2, both great controllers. I would stay away from the 1300 series. Those things do not have a very good reputation for frying decoders and stuff. I used one for years and it never happened, but I've heard from a lot of other people that they're not good for that, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of too many other brands that made really amazing DC controllers at the time. Like, there's tons of good DCC controllers, but in terms of DC, it's pretty much MRC, and then you've got like all the train set controllers, which are not great. I hate the old controllers. I got shocked with one. I mean, I get it. Like, if you have an old train set and you want it to kind of fit with it, I can understand why people still want to use those. And I also get, too, that, like, if the budget is tight, sometimes people just don't have a choice but to use an older controller like that. But I would say if you're resurrecting an old train set. Out of everything you can upgrade, the controller would probably be my first choice. And some people would probably suggest buying a new engine or something like that, but my logic is that, you know, an older engine is relatively safe, whereas an old controller is kind of dangerous because, you know, HO scale engines, they run on 12 volts. They're not that bad, you know, in terms of like electrical hazards. They can burn up and stuff, but they're not as dangerous as a controller, which plugs into your wall and has 120 volts. I have a lifelike DC controller. It heats up fast. Well, yeah, those controllers are only like 0.7 amps. So yeah, they're not very powerful. Really only meant for running about one engine at a time. I sent an email on wiring layouts. Would you be able to reply this week? It would be for my layout. I'd be grateful. Yeah, absolutely. So one of your trains caught on fire before. I don't think I've ever had anything. I've had a lot of motors burn up, but no actual flames. When I was younger, I was being kind of stupid. I was working with a motor on the bench, and I sprayed some alcohol on the commutator, and it ignited. But that was more of an operator error than it was the motor just burning up on its own. So no, I haven't had it happen, but it is a risk. I just try to keep it in mind. Did you hear the Expo Rail got an LRC passenger car from VIA? It can be displayed with 6921. I wasn't aware of that. That's fantastic. I'm pretty sure that LRC engine they have is still operable too, so hopefully they can have it pull that car around their set there. Keep asking for you to run a steam engine. I'm a big fan. Yeah, I can put a steam engine on. Hey Harrison, I love the channel. I've been watching for many years now. I can't recall if you have done a Varney Casey Jones or not. I haven't worked on one yet. I do have one now. David Zeta G-Scale gifted me one about a year ago, and it does run to some extent, but I need to do a complete overhaul to get it running perfectly. I really can't wait to service that one though. Speaking of transformers, how would you rate an MRC Tech 2 1400 transformer? I think they're decent. I mean, obviously they're not as powerful as the 9500 series, but I would definitely buy one of those over a 1300 series. What kind of throws do you use on your Switch? I don't think I have any. What's with the saxophone in the background? It's just old broadcasting music. Since I'm usually working on like 70s and 80s era trains, that's why I like to add music that was actually made in that era. My HO scale MBTA light isn't working. I brought it to a friend's house and it was working fine before I brought it. I connected it to a Bachmann DCC controller and it stopped working anyway to fix it. Unfortunately, it probably burnt it out. I had a Bachmann DCC controller, and it did that to a couple of my Rapido cars, which had LEDs, and even to some of my cars which had DC, like incandescent lights. The reason for that is because Bachmann decided to go with 16 volts instead of 14. I don't know why, but yeah, the only way you're probably going to get that going again is either if there's a burnt out resistor, you might be able to replace that, or you might just have to put new lights in it. Not a very difficult repair to do, so it's not hopeless, but yeah, if it was working fine before then and it burnt out after, I would say probably not a coincidence. Can you run the Hershey Special locomotive? Yeah, absolutely. Just gotta find it. Do you have any Bachmann Thomas stuff? Can't say I do. Oh yeah, that's right. I was also supposed to run the Alaska Railroad engine. I'll throw that on at some point as well. As for the Hershey's engine, I thought I had it here at one point, and then I guess I must have moved it over here, maybe. Where's your O-Gauge stuff? I miss it so much. It's back. If you watch the most recent video, I set it up in the other room. I can show that in a minute. Okay, yeah, here it is. What's a model you were excited to get but ended up being very disappointed with when you began to operate it? It's a good question. I feel like that has happened at least once, but nothing comes to mind. That's weird. A bunch of the lights in the layout just went out. Strange. You did save the Hershey factory, didn't you? Yeah, the Hershey factory is still in existence. It's still at my parents' place. I haven't brought it over here yet. There's a whole plan to possibly actually drive that up to Smith Falls next year, so it's not going to be moved for a while. When are you going to buy some Mexican train stuff like the Ferromex ST70 or ES44AC? I don't know. I would be interested in buying a few engines from Mexico, but a lot of them are super expensive and they're also kind of rare. I have one which I managed to find at a pretty good price. It's a State Railways engine. This is I think it's a Proto 1000. I found this for $15 and I actually need to do some work on it. I think one of the wheels is messed up, but it's a fine engine. How many times have you had a glitch with your track or a mess up? Oh, too many times to count. I mean, if you watch these live streams, things go wrong. It's just part of running your layout. I've tried to make the track as reliable as I can, but, you know, it's like earlier, the AWVR, for whatever reason, kept derailing in that corner. Stuff shifts around due to temperature changes and so on, and, yeah, it's a constant challenge, just, I don't know, keeping things working well. Gremlins, yeah, absolutely. Probably explains why the lights went out. I'm gonna see if I can get those working again. Anything? No. I don't know. I'll have to work on that later. Yeah, as for the O-scale stuff, it's a little bit of a catastrophe right now because I was putting together the thumbnail for that video. But yeah, finally got the O-scale track back down. And I'm thinking that somewhere in this room I'm going to build some sort of an O-scale layout. I also got this cabinet finally moved over from my parents' place, which is good because I brought some of the O-scale engines over with that, and already got these guys right here. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking in this corner right here. I can't build it too big because I've got the wood stove right here. So you know, obviously in the winter when this is going, this gets really hot, so I want to make sure there's adequate distance. But I feel like I could probably build maybe like a 4x10 or something. And I've already got this lighting, which I just installed a few weeks ago. So yeah, lots of options, but I definitely want to make something more permanent for the O-scale stuff. Is there any way to fix a burnt out pancake motor? If the coils are bad, I would just buy another Power Torque. They're a dime a dozen. You just throw a new armature in it or just use the block off a different one. Technically, you could rewind the motor, but for an old Tyco, I feel like that's way more trouble than it would be worth. How do you control your turnouts, I ask, because I don't like the looks of the electric controls in my older Atlas turnouts. I'm hoping to find a better solution before I ballast. In my cases, the turnouts are all manual. There's a spring under here, and so I just throw them all by hand. You can buy electric switches, which you actually drill a hole in your layout for, and they go under. So you can get tortoise ones. Rapido also makes one called Rail Crew, which I've worked with, and it's been pretty good. But yeah, there's definitely better options than the older Atlas style. The Atlas ones are, you know, very budget friendly, but I'm not a big fan of having that unit on the side of the switch myself. What's the best DCC controller to use? To me, everybody seems to either go with Digitrax or NCE. There are some other brands out there, but that seems to be the main two. Personally, I like Digitrax, and I did a poll about 2 years ago, and Digitrax seemed to be number one. So I guess the DCS52 is the best controller out there, but that's not to say if you bought an NCE controller, it's going to be a bad experience. I'm sure it's got to be good because there's a lot of people that swear by them. You know, if they were junk, I don't think anybody would be buying them. So yeah, just go to your hobby shop, see what they have, and flip a coin and either go with Digitrax or NCE. You could get an MRC, I think it's an MRC 6000, which is a DC-DCC controller, but that'd be an unusual choice. Not too many people have those. I've been watching your channel for 4 years now. Well, thank you so much for sticking around that long. Is there any model train YouTubers that you recommend other than yourself? Watch classic model trains. Let me think about this. I watch RBP. He mostly is doing O-scale stuff though. So if you're into O-scale, he's got some good content out there. Let me go through my subscription feed here. Whoops. Go Trains Go. I haven't seen that one. One channel I'm a pretty big fan of is Watch Trains Now. A bit of a smaller channel, but he makes a lot of repair videos. What's the count for the amount of engines you have? I think it's 700. Colby's Project Bin, that's a good channel. It's another smaller channel, but it's got some good stuff. Will you ever add a roundhouse or dockside quarry to your layout? I don't know about a quarry. A roundhouse would be nice. I'm just not sure what would be a good space to have it, because the industrial layout is now starting to take shape. And I still want to dedicate some space to building a model of Forest Fair Mall, so I don't know. We'll see. I love the music. I think it's out of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I have an old Lifelike F40. After it's run for about 10 minutes, the top of the shell is pretty warm. Do you have any clue on why it's doing that? It's from about 1978 or 1979. Provided it's been serviced, everything's well lubricated, there's no dust or hair in it, that might be normal. Older motors are just inefficient, and so they generate a lot of heat. If you smell a burning smell, that's a bad sign. It could mean that the coils are overheating, but yeah, to me, the rule is if the motor is too hot to touch, it's overheating. If it's just warm to the touch, it's okay. Scott Rails. I like Scott Rails. That's a good channel. He did a really good video, actually, showing how you could use a bike chain to create cars which move on your layout. That was pretty creative. Darth Santa Fe. Darth Santa Fe is a legend. I've been watching Darth Santa Fe since 2011. Rave Train says, make sure you hit the like button. Do you like Rivarossi or Bachmann? Well, if I had to pick, it would be Rivarossi all day. It's not to say I hate Bachmann, but they're not my first choice. Hey, SMT, you're my inspiration for model railroading, and now I'm a broke vegetable salad. Thank you so much. Hey, well, everybody who has the train bug has that problem, you know. Good for the heart and soul, not so good for the wallet. I'm curious why you chose HO over O or even N scale. I mean, I still model a little bit of O and N scale, so I wouldn't say I'm 100% HO, but the reason it's the primary choice is just because it's kind of a nice blend. It's large enough that it's easy to work on, small enough that you can build something without taking up too much space. Because if I wanted to create this in O scale, it wouldn't even fit in the basement. And, N scale is a lot better than HO is for that, but it's finicky, so. It's also a really affordable scale, which is nice. What's the train by the Ace Hardware? This is a Lifelike 040. It's actually out of my dad's collection. I need to do a rebuild on that. Would you ever consider working on more Marx locomotives? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, those things are usually quite reliable and pretty easy to service. I've seen an Athearn Blue Box locomotive at a flea market the other day, but it had rust on the bottom of the truck, so I didn't buy it. Should I have bought it? Well, it depends how much they're asking for it. I mean, if it's $15, I would say, yeah, just take your chances and go with it. But if they want like $50 for an engine that has rust, forget about it. Probably going to be more trouble. Usually if an engine has rust on it, it means it's been underwater. You know, a lot of people like me run their trains in a basement and accidents happen. So, yeah, I have bought engines that were clearly involved in a flood and not good. Making an N-scale layout in some of your videos inspired me to do something a bit similar but with my own design. And that's a great method. That's how a lot of the design for this layout has come about. Like I go through old model railroading magazines or, you know, watch videos of real railroads and get some inspiration and then change it up to fit my needs. So yeah, good on ya. What's the worst looking paint scheme of all time? I'm trying to think. Yeah, nothing comes to mind. Hello from Sudbury. Oh, that's a good place. Welcome. Is it worth it to pay $100 for an LRC or $30 for VIA Bud cars? If you're talking about LRC cars, $100 is a lot. I know the Rapido ones go for an arm and a leg, but personally, I'd probably go for the Bud cars. You know, $30 is a lot cheaper than having to spend $100 every time. And I have some LRC cars. Personally, I've found they didn't perform that great in terms of derailments. But I don't know. As I always say, it's just a matter of preference. I used Reddit and YouTube to plan my layout. There is some good people on the model railroading subreddit. I've been on there before, and there's a lot of them that are supportive, but I find Reddit has a bit of a culture for just kind of picking on people. I don't know what it is. I haven't dealt with it much myself, but I've seen some people on the model railroading subreddit share their like first time building a layout, and they just get flamed with people being like, oh, that's not how you do things and stuff. And it's like, this is probably like a 12-year-old kid, and he's just trying to lay out some track for the first time, and everybody's making fun of him. So yeah, it's not that there isn't any good advice on there, but I do find generally people on the like YouTube side of things are nicer. I mean, there are some jerks here too, but generally I find it's a bit more supportive. I don't know why there's such a difference, but yeah. It can be helpful, but people are mean, yeah. What's your opinion on WD-40 as a lubricant? Can it cause damage after I used it or may have not used it before? I may or may not have used it before. My locos ran better afterwards. Okay, the age-old WD-40 debate. Do I think it's a good idea to lubricate your trains with WD-40? No. WD-40 is not a very good lubricant, and I know that contradicts a lot of people's experience because it's like, oh, I've got a door hinge or a bolt or something that needs to get unstuck, and I spray some WD-40 on it, and it fixes it. WD-40 is a good penetrating oil. I use it to fix, like if I'm wrenching on something and I need to get a bolt unstuck, I'll spray some WD-40 on it, and it does help. But I think WD-40 is like 70% Kroil, which is a fish oil. It's a very thin lubricant, so it doesn't lubricate very well. Now, the reason, if you spray WD-40 in an engine that's been sitting for a while, it's going to run better because it doesn't have any lubricant in it. Like if the lubricant's been sitting for 30 years, it's going to be dry. It's not going to be lubricating very well. And so if you spray WD-40 in that gearbox, it's going to re-moisturize everything, but it might also strip away important lubricants. So personally, I would recommend, oh, the lights just came back on. That's cool. Personally, I'd recommend buying actual model lubricant because you buy a bottle for like 14 bucks and then it lasts you years. You know, like Labelle 102 or Labelle 106. If you have to use a cheap lubricant, like if money's the issue and you're working with really old equipment, I would use 3-in-1 oil over WD-40 because it's an actual lubricant, but that's not to say I'd recommend it. Model lubricant is made for model trains, 3-in-1 oil is not. But yeah, I would still use 3-in-1 oil over WD-40. The goblins fixed the lights, they felt bad. That's just the thing. Sometimes, you know, they do have heart and soul, and they fix things on my layout, and that's why some engines that don't work in one live stream all of a sudden start working again in another. I found that WD-40 is great at removing older lubricant, definitely not a lubricant itself. Yeah, well, I mean, truth be told, I used WD-40 on a couple of my engines when I was about 10 or 11 years old because I didn't know. My only experience with WD-40 had been like, hey, I spray this on my bike chain and it stops squeaking or something, you know? I just thought, oh, this is great stuff. But in the short term, you do see a performance increase, but once it dries out, everything goes right back to where it was. And yeah, again, the lubricant washing is not good. How do you feel about moving and destroying a bit of the layout to move? Taking apart the layout was a tough process. You know, if you've been building something up for many years, taking it all apart, and I don't know, it's not the greatest feeling, but rebuilding it all here has been awesome. And honestly, I'm really happy with how things are coming along. I think that this new layout has a lot of advantages over the older one. I like how it's coming together, and I think things can really only get better from here for it. I have a question. Where are your Brazilian trains? I still have them. I got my grandfather's old trains from my uncle. I took the track and built a massive floor layout. I got the trains going again. The engine was a Tyco 76. And a Lifelike 76. Well, that's awesome. A little bit of cleaning and lubrication. I swear it brings almost every one of those things back to life. Have you ever been to Norm's O-Scale Trains in South Casco, Maine? No, I haven't heard of that place, to be honest with you. I should see how far it is away from Arundel. Comments are flying through here. I've been using your videos to help fix my trains. I get at my train club. I got a 99 Penn Mantua Tyco switcher. The motor works only when the dial is halfway. It's very slow. Any ideas on how to fix it? That's not a great sign. To me, it means one of two things. Either you've got a short circuit or something is stuck in the gearbox. Either way, I wouldn't force the engine to run until you work on it a bit more. So check the gearbox, make sure it's clean, make sure there's no dust or hair in it, and definitely change the oil if you haven't already, because an engine moving slow like that is not a good sign. If you're giving it lots of power, it should be moving pretty quick. The bearings on those older Mantuas can be a bit funny. That could be the issue. So try running it backwards, see if it goes faster in reverse. If it goes faster in reverse, it's probably a sign it's just the bearings. Is N-Scale trickier to fix than HO? I would say so. Almost every time I've taken on an N-Scale project, it's been a lot more finicky than HO. I mean, the parts are just smaller. The scale of the dust and hair that gets caught in the drive doesn't change, and I think that's part of the reason why O-Scale engines are more resilient. There is a charm to streamlined locomotives pulling freight trains. It happens a lot in model railroads, especially classic gauge. I noticed the Canadian National. Any thoughts on the train in Snowpiercer? I haven't seen the show about Snowpiercer, but I have seen the movie. I'm not crazy about the way the train looks, to be honest. It's a little too sci-fi dystopian, but it is a really good movie. I quite enjoyed it. It's very dark, but if you're into that kind of adventure film, you will probably like it. You should run a Province and Worcester engine from the unboxing video. Yeah, I can do that. I wonder where the heck it is. Are you planning to build an N-scale layout like the one you have? That's the plan. I don't have much of a timeline for it, but it'll probably be a winter project. I feel like I've seen the Providence and Worcester engine quite recently, and I just can't remember what part of the shelf it was. I don't know. Find it eventually. I have a locomotive that barely moves with full power. It creeps. It's not the electrical pickup. The motor's not smooth. I would check the gearbox. Don't forget to smash the like button. Oh, don't just smash the like button. I want people to eliminate the like button. Click it 2 times. Kidding. After a depressing week of thunderstorms and rain, it's nice to end off things with an SMT live stream. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's been raining almost every day. I'd rather have rain than fire, but yeah, it's been a very rainy summer, I gotta say. I clicked 3 times. Oh, right on. Even when I disconnect the drive shaft, the motor revs inconsistently. That sounds to me like there's an issue with the brushes. I would check to make sure that the springs have good tension on them. WD-40 damages rubber parts and can damage some plastics. I've heard that quite a few times before. I've never seen it happen myself. I would love to see a chemical breakdown that would kind of reveal what specific plastics WD-40 can harm, because I mean the straw the WD-40 comes out of is made of plastic, so I don't know, this idea that all plastics are harmed, I don't believe, but yeah, maybe there are some out there that are. I feel like most of the time, though, that people are saying, oh, I put WD-40 in my engine and it destroyed the gearbox. Again, it's because it washes out the lubricants. just chimed in. Any new updates on the layout? Nothing too significant at the moment. I think in the next few weeks I'm going to go out to my local hobby shop and get some risers so I can build another line around this layout. What's going in with this Canadian National Day Night? I still haven't fixed that engine since that infamous live stream where it decided just to fall apart. I've never seen an engine fail more catastrophically. WD-40 is safe for most general use plastics, but it will severely damage and crack specific types like polycarbonate and clear polystyrene. Very interesting. I have one little experiment I've been doing for a while, and it's kind of interesting. Let me go get it. This is a WD-40 live stream. Yeah, so a lot of people have also said that 3-in-1 oil eats through plastics and things like that. And on April 13th of 2025, I decided to put that to the test. So what I did was I took a bunch of junked parts from different manufacturers and I threw them all in this cup. And they've been sitting in 3-in-1 oil for over a year now. So far, nothing has melted, including the cup, which I learned the hard way is very sensitive to things like gasoline. So yeah, anyway, just an interesting experiment I've been doing. We'll see, I guess, in another few months if anything has changed. But so far, it does not seem like the 3-in-1 oil has affected any of the plastics in here. So there's something. What happened to the Hershey factory? Nothing's happened to it, which is, I guess, the problem. It's still over at my parents' place. What's running right now? Got a Hershey's locomotive, AC44i, a streetcar. That's about it. What brand do you recommend for lubricants? I'm a pretty big fan of Labelle. It's what I've been using for years. I've also heard a lot of good things about Super Lube, but I haven't had much experience with it myself. Standard WD-40 is considered locomotive killer in the model railroad community. SMT, getting around 11 engines and having 9 of them work, Bachmann, Tyco, etc. Getting around 130 pieces of track accessories like a railroad crossing and many transformers for $110, a good deal. I think so, yeah, 110 bucks for all of that. I don't know how well, I mean, this is probably brass track at that price, but yeah, I mean, that's probably enough stuff to put together a basic layout, so yeah, a lot cheaper than buying a starter set. Will you ever get working signals? Probably, but it's not a priority. I would like to get some signals for this section of track. That way I would know what polarity the track is using when I'm running trains through the reversing section. When the live stream is done, you should title it, "Don't Put WD-40 in a Locomotive." On April Fool's next year, I should do a video where I praise WD-40 and talk about how great it is for your engines. I'm sure everybody would love that. I'll be like, when you buy your new Scale Trains engine, the very first thing you want to do is soak the gearbox in WD-40. Put half a can in the engine. It will run great. WD-40 is the best stuff. I really do wonder sometimes why WD-40 over other lubricants became such a household name, because personally I find liquid wrench more effective when something is stuck. Like, I'll use WD-40 in a pinch, but it's just interesting it's the one of choice.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, she got in somehow. I thought I had locked all the doors.
Hello.
Say hi to everybody. WD-50 works better. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Der Deutsch Professor, welcome. I use liquid wrench and PB Blaster for things. It's effective. Everyone's saying hi to you, Chloe.
Oh, hi.
He forgot the windows. Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's how I got in.
How's Nerf Dog? Nerf Dog is doing well. It was I was taking care of him 2 weekends ago. It's kind of like duct tape. You can't fix everything with it, though people try hard to. Yeah, well, I mean, with enough zip ties, coat hangers, and duct tape, you can accomplish some remarkable things. Just ask Mythbusters and the Red Green Show. But, yeah. Should have called him Airsoft Dog. The layout is looking good. Thank you. What's a VCR? Technology from the 90s. I find WD-50 and WD-60 works better for trains. It's more oil and less lubricant. Can you actually buy WD-60? I've never seen it. I thought everybody was joking about that. Now it's making me second guess things. I'm gonna go on a trip to Canadian Tire only to find out there's no such thing. It's probably something you can get in the US, but that they don't sell in Canada. The story of my life. My parents never got into trains. I got them into it through letting me watch Thomas and Friends. SMT, is mixing brass, copper, and nickel silver track bad or fine? It's not ideal. I mean, you know, mixing dissimilar metals can cause some issues, but personally, I find that, you know, if there isn't a lot of moisture in the environment, is it really going to make that big a difference? Probably not. I've mixed brass and nickel silver track together for years, and I haven't had any problems. So the only thing with brass track is that you have to clean it quite often, but it's really the only drawback. I've never heard of WD-60 either. You're not alone. Have you ever seen Corner Gas, the TV show? I've watched a little bit of it, but I don't think I've seen more than like 5 episodes. It seems all right. The humor is very Canadian. WD-60 was used in airplanes and turbines. Chloe's going to get herself furniture. WD-40 is now a brand attached to many products other than WD-40. It was never a lube. It does say on the can that it lubricates. I think what they should do is it should say WD-40 lubricates, and then in brackets poorly or something like that. WD-70 is the best for your trains, guys. I mean, you may as well just go right up to WD-80 at that point. What glue do you use for repairs? Most of the time I use Gorilla CA. I find this stuff, it's like $7 a bottle, and it lasts a pretty long time. Seems to work quite well. The only problem I've had with it is it seems to whiten certain plastics, so I would not use it for certain details and things like that, but just for basic repairs, especially things on the inside, I find it holds up pretty well. Is this a WD lubricant live stream or an HO scale live stream? That's a good question. If you store CA in your refrigerator door, it will last forever almost. I do that sometimes with paint. I'll wrap it up with some saran wrap and then throw it in the refrigerator. It does help. Have you ever tried CA Glue Accelerator or Activator? Never a product labeled that, but I have used baking soda, which has that effect. Do you have any Hornby or Roco locomotives? Yeah, I've got stuff from both brands. I use Labella oil and Realistic lube gel from Radio Shack days. It's basically super lube or gear lube. I know some guys like Darth Santa Fe use ATF. I've never tried that myself, but I guess maybe for brass and die-cast engines it would be a good option because it's already meant for working with metal gears. Be interesting to try outboard gear lubricant on metal gears. What radiuses do you use? Mostly 22 radius. I have some 24 on the outside circuit, and then on the inside circuit there's a bit of 18 and 15 radius. Have you ever unboxed a Heritage unit before? I don't think I have. I got an Atlas GP 39-2 brand new in a CSX paint game. I got it for $31, one of the best deals I've ever seen. That does seem pretty good. How can I fix a cracked gear? Sometimes if you degrease it and then hold it together, put some crazy glue in there and hold it together with something gentle, something like some sort of a clamp. Occasionally you can get them back together, but I find more often than not if a gear is cracked, it's best to just try to find a replacement from a donor engine. If one of my HO scale trains smells burnt and emits smoke, can it be electrical or overheating? Well, it could be both. I find most of the time if a motor is smoking, it's usually because there's stuff burning on the commutator. So try cleaning the commutator because that's a really easy solution. Make sure you clean the gaps on the commutator with something like a toothpick. I'll actually get a motor so I can show this. Here's your motor. There are obviously many different types out there, but what's very important, and this doesn't matter if it's an HO scale engine or a pencil sharpener or the starter from your car, every time you service the motor, take a toothpick or something and clean out these gaps right here because this is where carbon builds up, and what can happen is that when power is flowing through here, if there's carbon buildup, it creates an electrical connection and it burns, so you're using a lot more power than you need to, and it makes the motor inefficient. It can even destroy this plastic right here. So clean that out and see if it quits smoking. The other problem could be the coils are overheating and they're burning. That's a lot harder to deal with, but this is a really good way to test things out. Whoa! We've got a $100 super chat. Hoping that your house is coming along nicely. Your layout looks better each time. Sorry that I missed the last live stream. Again, a little to help continue with the layout. Best wishes from Germany. Well, thank you so much again. I can't believe that. Very generous Der Deutsch professor. And as I mentioned before, well, the previous donations have gone into building some of this layout, so I can say thanks to you for that. Yeah, I'll continue to invest that into whatever it is that happens to be going in on the channel. So thank you very, very much for that. It really does mean an awful lot. Everyone's calling Der Deutsch professor a legend. Absolutely. If you're plugging in a control box, why does it smoke? If you're plugging in a control box, why does it smoke? It's probably a short circuit. I wouldn't plug it in again. You run an Illinois Central locomotive. What are your thoughts on a new Lionel Super Chief set? It has 12 coaches, 4 locos, and retails for $4,500. Sorry. I have no idea. I've never worked with anything from Lionel in that price range. I'm sure it would be okay, but that's a lot of money to be spending on a set. Thank you so much for joining the channel for 16 months, Gary M. Thank you so much for the 10 there, Jersey Bill. Here's 10 more for whatever. Everyone's just spoiling me tonight. What are your thoughts on the America 250 train show in Spencer? I don't know anything about it, to be honest. Has that happened yet? It's like Christmas with all the super chats. Yeah, absolutely. You can get new gears from Athearn. They fit Proto 2000 locomotives. Yeah, and vice versa. I've also put Proto gears on Athearns because sometimes the wheels on those break. It's not very common, but I've seen it happen. Chloe, is there any engines that you would like to run?
I would like to run.
Yeah, why don't you go find one?
Isn't it both?
Yep. Do you know how to get flywheels off an Atlas motor? I think you would need a gear puller for it. I'm not sure if I've done that before.
Is that good? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I place it?
Yeah, sure. I'll stop the one on the
Okay.
outside.
Is it replacing this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because that is from Brazil and that's another Brazilian engine. Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
I think it worked.
Really?
Well, it's moving. I think the front wheels might need a...
Yeah, I didn't really. I took my.
Actually, I think
Really?
I think you got it right. Maybe? I don't know. Let's see.
I got my fingers.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I got my fingers off because the other one was coming.
Or if you, if I get it on here, can you power it up again?
Huh?
Uh-oh. All right.
Go faster.
That's up to you. Derailment of the day. One of many more. Looks pretty good to me. Somebody says, hi, Chloe. Who's Chloe? Chloe's this woman, she just gets into my house sometimes and starts running trains with me.
Yeah.
I've tried to lock her out several times, she just keeps getting in and stuff, so I've just come to accept it, you know. But oh, she is pretty cute though, so it's okay. You need to get a WD-40 train boxcar. Yeah. Can you run an Amtrak Sella? I'm a member. Yeah, we can do that.
Wait, can I try to see if I can identify that?
Yeah, go see if you can find the Acela.
What is that? Amtrak Stella?
Yeah.
Is it gonna say it on it?
I think it does, yeah. I might not be able to read it though because it's not facing the right direction.
Okay. Well, okay, show me around where it is.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's on the second up from the bottom. Yeah, it's the right layer. Yeah.
Amtrak what?
Acela. It's kind of a silverish color. Let's hope it doesn't fly off the layout again. Yeah, I sure hope not.
I think I found it.
Hey, she did it.
Well, you told me it was silver.
Is that cheating?
Maybe it is. Do I go there or there? Oh no, because it's not.
Yeah, okay, here, you see the silver controller?
Yeah?
Yeah, when the train with the yellow and the blue gets near you, no, the other silver controller, the one above it, up one level. Yeah, that's the one. Here, yeah, stop and then you can do the switcheroo.
Of this one?
Yeah. Don't throw the Acela off the table this time. Well, try not to. Not intentionally. It was New Year's Day, I think in 2019.
Does it have a thing?
Oh, he doesn't have a coupler. I've got two of them. We'll just find the other one. Yeah, it was New Year's in 2019, and I just got a brand new controller for Christmas, and I was pretty excited because it had a G-scale feature, which could really bump up the voltage, and so I was like, all right. I literally said, it's time for some irresponsible speed, and about a minute later, it went into the corner, which was 18 radius at the time, and flew right off the layout. I still cringe imagining the sound it made when it hit the floor. Surprisingly, it survived that, and I was able to put all the parts back together, but
Know where it is?
that was pretty bad. The other Acela?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. I'm not sure, to be honest. Shouldn't be too far away.
Maybe in the other room.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're both not too far away because I was running both of them in a previous live stream, so it's got to be around here somewhere.
It's not this one, is it?
No, that's similar.
Is it the exact same?
Yes, yeah, it's identical.
Okay.
Is mixing brass, copper, and nickel silver track fine?
Is it?
I already answered that question, but in short, it's not ideal, but is it going to cause much trouble? Probably not. I think it's right behind there.
Where?
Like,
Here?
no, I think it's this.
Oh. Wait, what happened now? Oh yeah.
Well,
Are they all the same?
a lot of them are.
Before it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
Like the little thing that it attached.
I should probably take the other one off.
Oh, you have to take this off.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so good.
Have you ever watched Tea and Moonshine? I've seen a bit of it. I wonder if Jimmy Lambert is maybe a former salesman of some kind. I don't know. He's got that sort of radio voice. Sounds like somebody would be like, "We're having good deals at
I don't know if I got it right.
Norfolk Nissan. Come on down." Oh, I think you did. Yeah, just give it some power. It should start. Yeah, it's not your fault. I think it's just being special. Yeah, give it a lot of power. It likes that. Yeah, there we go. It's on the inside circuit. How bad could it possibly derail?
Is it too fast?
We're gonna find out.
I don't want to break your train.
It's okay. It's been broken before. I wouldn't jinx it. I mean, I already flew this thing from this layout to the other one earlier in the year, so I don't know. I've done enough gambling with it. I think my luck has changed with this locomotive. And furthermore, Chloe's driving it right now, so if something bad happens, I can just say she did it. Like, yeah, Chloe's driving it. She got this wild look in her eyes, and she turned the throttle all the way up. I told her not to, and it was a real bad accident. It would have been much harder if you didn't trim the mountain where you set up the BNSF G scale. Yeah, absolutely. I'll go over there so I can kind of talk about the plan I have for that. I'll turn this down a little bit before we have a crash. Jersey Bill says, "Don't trust him, Chloe."
I know.
Yeah, so in the G-scale video, I carved away part of the mountain right here, and what I'm thinking is I'm going to shave away a bit of this track and then run some sort of like a lift section, like some sort of an elevated curve right here, and then somehow it's going to suspend over the existing tracks back here all the way up there, and then there's going to be a section, and it's going to come right back down. We'll have a crisscross between this track and whatever's going to go around the edge, and we're going to call it the Virginia Creeper. Has a house, is making memories around a handmade layout. Man is winning. Thank you. Lag. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I wonder why it's lagging.
Maybe because you're here?
Yeah, it could be the cement. Maybe I should go back.
Not better?
You should get Chloe a conductor costume. What do you think, Chloe?
A what?
A conductor costume?
What is that?
You know, like a train driver.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not a driver, but the conductor.
Could be my Halloween costume.
Yeah. At Larkspur Line train store, they got these pink conductor's hats. And
Do they?
Yeah, I should just buy you one. It'd be great. Full speed. You run the Bowser T1. Sure. Okay, scratch what I said about running the T1. I forgot that in the last live... Well, almost lost my light here. I forgot that in the last live stream, this snapped off. So I need to fix it. How should I get into G-Scale with a train set? Seems like a good method. It's probably the most cost-effective because, as I've been learning very quickly, trying to buy G-Scale stuff a la carte costs about an arm and a leg. The train sets are not cheap either, but they are relative to the cost of trying to buy the track and the controller, a locomotive, and the cars. Not too bad in my opinion. See if you can find one locally on Facebook Marketplace or something. That's probably the best way because shipping stuff in G-Scale is pretty expensive. You run a daylight. Sure. What's the current state of the Hershey factory? It's still at my parents' place, so I need to move it over in 2027.
What do they want? Which look like?
The daylight. You know that one? It's like orange and red and...
Find it.
All right.
Well, there's a lot of orange.
Captain Chloe is on the...
Wait, but show me around where.
I don't even know, to be honest.
Oh. So what? Something daylight?
Yeah, it's called the daylight.
Orange and red?
Orange, black, red. It's a bit of white. So daylight worked fine now. The 4449 runs like the American Freedom Train. I don't know if there were problems with the second one. I know there were some derailing issues. I guess we'll find out. No, that's the right paint colors, but it's a bigger engine. It's a steam engine. It looks a lot like this one, but it's rare. But I don't even know where it is myself. Can you run the most confusing locomotive that you have? I'll do that until we find the daylight.
Not that one.
No good guess, but no, it's a steam engine.
I'm not sure I know the difference.
Bigger wheels and stuff. I don't know where it is myself though, so I'm not too much about that.
Not the
No, I don't know. I probably brought it into another room. I was filming the videos of testing out the track or something. I don't know. Who knows? As for running something unusual, though, this is what we got. And this thing is very confusing because it's a Swedish locomotive, but it's got an American paint scheme on it. Somebody was having some fun doing a bit of kit bashing. Do you have a Garrett locomotive? I don't think I do. What's that?
Don't also for
The Garrett? No, I don't know what that is. Do you think using real dirt and gravel is a good idea on your layout? Yeah, it should be fine. I mean, I would probably, be really careful, like glue it down well before I ran anything. I wouldn't just put like loose dirt on your layout because you really don't want that to get in your locomotive's gearbox. But yeah, I know tons of guys in the hobby who, the way they make their ballast is they just pick up like fine dust off the side of the road. They sift out all the large rocks and then they use that as a ballast. It might not be as nice as actual ballast you buy at the hobby shop, but nothing beats the price of free sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think they can solve it. Is that new?
No, I had that for a while. It's nice to see the layout is slowly coming together. Thank you, Pedro. I'm really happy that it's finally got to this state. Still a long way to go, but yeah, it's on its way. Oh, and it's uncoupled already. Okay, we're gonna try to flip it around. There's one of the couplers on this works better on one side more than it does the other. What's the goofiest engine you have? Other than the Super Chief, it might be this one. Yeah, okay. It's finally starting to run. Hesitated. Did you go to the recent train show at Expo Rail? To tell you the truth, I didn't even know that there was a train show recently at Expo Rail. Coupler height on this is not ideal. Real dirt is okay. I sifted through parking lot dirt to make sure to demagnetize it first, then secure it well. That's a good point. Get yourself a neodymium magnet maybe and get all the metal bits out. Oh, this thing is starting to bug me. I'm just gonna let it do a loop on its own. I'm not gonna make this work. It's pretty funny that every engine on this side of the layout that's currently running is electric. We've got the streetcar, the Virginian engine, and then also the Acela. Have it push instead of pull. Yeah, that's an idea. The Virginian unit might not be at fault. Tried checking the freight car. No, it's definitely the locomotive. The couplers on this one have always been a little bit funny. Because every other engine I ran with it was fine. Try using a universal coupler. That will make it work, but I think fundamentally what I need to do is adjust the height on this and fix it for good. I think it's just these NEM couplers. I've had mixed experience with them. All right, very nice. Do you have any Spirit of 76 steam engines? Does the American Freedom Train count? I personally did not have good experience with used railroad switches. Yeah, buying switches used can be a mixed bag. I bought some Pico switches used at a train show, and those were all good, but most of the time when I've bought a used switch, it's given me problems, and I have a bit of a theory about that. First of all, switches are complicated things, so if you put them on a layout and then you pry them up, there's always a chance they get damaged, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that when they have a problem with the switch, they just replace it. But I think instead of throwing it away, they just say, well, I've got this backup switch, and then they end up selling it. So I think that's why a lot of used switches are defective. It's because people are just trying to sell their problem to the next guy. Get down here and do some rail fanning. How did you and Chloe meet? I don't know, Chloe, do you want to tell this story?
We met at the farm, and it was like right after the COVID shutdown. Things started to come back up, and we had an event, and I was supposed to ride his pony actually. And anyways, we didn't know we were at the same barn, but so yeah, that day we both arrived there, rode the ponies. Our friends like introduced us to each other, and yeah, went on a few dates.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
But he says I jinxed the Amtrak engine. That was my fault. The Amtrak engine did not
So that
cause
wasn't my fault?
No.
Okay.
No, that was an operator error from my side.
What were the horses' names? Pumpkin, and I was riding Carter.
Oh, troublemakers. No, I can't say that about my horse. She was good. I hadn't been riding in a
she was
long
really
time,
good.
and yeah, we were out at this
How
event.
do you take
and
this
stuff.
thing down?
What do you mean, like
Well, so
like
they can
this?
see what's happening.
Like that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she was good. She made me look like I knew how to ride better.
You do know how to ride.
Oh, but I was rusty.
Well, yeah.
I landed a jump really bad. I'm surprised I didn't get flown off.
Cowboy Carter? Is that a thing?
Cowboy car. I've never heard of that.
Huh. I have no idea either. David says, hello, Chloe, you're so quiet, I didn't know you were there. Hey. Depends the time. Sometimes I'm quiet, sometimes I'm not. It's crooked.
I like this music that's playing. It sounds like it's from some sort of a 90s comedy.
Yeah, that's true. Hi, I super chatted.
Super chatted. Let's have a look.
I think it's that guy. Yeah. It's
Do you
that
have
guy.
any Milwaukee MLW? Is MLW Milwaukee Road or is it different? I'm not sure.
Oh, we got
Do you have
two.
any NMLW?
Oh,
If
okay.
I have one, I can definitely run it for you. May I see a DCC lash up? I'll try. Live chat. There we go. Don't trust. Yeah, Bill was right.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have trusted him.
Not to fear, Harrison is here.
Double header? What does that mean?
Put two engines together.
Oh.
Wow, there's a lot of spiders right here.
Ew. Hello, Angel. By NJK Hot Wheels 67.
Hey, I found the daylight.
What?
Turns out it was with all the other ones there all along.
I literally saw this one and oh.
Spider where? There's spiders on the floor over there. There's two of them.
Hi, Mutual Broad.
Spiders make good passengers.
Ooh, yeah, I guess so.
It's a little baby wolf spider.
A lot of them?
There's two of them.
Oh. Yes, we did say daylight. Spiders are fine as long as they pay rent, catch
Yeah,
bugs.
I don't have a problem with the spiders. Poor Chloe this morning. I walked inside the house and there was a daddy long legs crawling up my back. She was like, oh, there's a spider on you.
Brown recluse spiders? What are those?
I'm not sure what variety that is. If they don't pay rent, put them on a web outside. I thought you were gonna say put them on a website, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
me
that's,
too,
That's,
I was confused.
that's pretty creative. It kind of makes sense, a website, because it's like a site where there's a web.
They are very poisonous spiders. I don't think we have
we don't
those
have
here.
any poisonous
Yeah.
spiders in Canada. If I was in Australia, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be a big fan of
But
it. But
yeah,
no,
no,
they're pretty
here,
harmless around here.
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
They're gross, but
When I was a kid, I used to play with spiders all the time, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're gonna get bit. You're gonna get bit." Never happened once. I don't know.
I mean, you can get bit, but it's not like it's bad.
yeah, but I was testing my luck really bad with that, and nothing happened, so it can't be that likely.
Somebody says venomous, not poisonous. Yeah,
Venomous.
yeah, but we don't have what? I don't think we have been Oh, what's that word? I can't.
I mean, how am I gonna get superpowers if I never get bit by a spider?
Oh, you Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Somebody says super chat.
DCC Lash Up. I don't see any new one.
I think it's so
I think we got them. I'm still gonna run the DCC Lash Up. I just need to find the other engine.
very generous.
Very generous. But did I miss one? I don't. It's not in the. It's not in the card. Where
That's
is it?
weird. Maybe it didn't.
I'm glad you're here seeing this with me. I feel like when messages don't show up, people think I'm just not paying attention or something.
Colin says this one. I'm not sure he.
This one.
What?
Where is it?
Maybe it didn't load yet?
I don't know. It should be up here. Let's check on my computer.
Okay. Sorry guys, we can't see it. Somebody says it's $100 soon. Well, I think we already saw the $100 one. Mutual Broad. It was $100. Are you guys?
It's the same one as before.
Is it the same one
That's the
as
same
that we
one.
did earlier?
No, unless another one. No, because it's going down. No, it's the same one. I think. I wonder if it just appeared for everybody else
That's
later
so
for
weird.
some reason. Well, if it is the second one, thanks a lot. That's completely
Yeah.
unnecessary, but incredibly generous if it is the second one. But on my screen, it shows it as being the same. I think it's the same one.
Okay, David says
Still
it's
on
on
the
the
screen.
screen. Yeah. I think it's 'cause
I think it just got pinned because it's a large one.
Yeah.
It is awesome though.
Thank you so much. It is the same one, okay. The CN engine is blocking the crossing.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I should do the lash up with.
No boy. Hi. Somebody says, I bet those spiders came from that Tyco E9. LOL.
People remember that? For anybody that doesn't know about this, years ago I was doing a video where I was trying to fix an E9 locomotive and I found it turned out the reason it wasn't running is because there was a spider egg in the motor and it was wrapped around the commutator.
Ew.
It was preventing it from running, so yeah, I don't know, maybe all the spiders I have down here are like distant relatives of that.
Christopher says, SMT, you are my favorite YouTuber. I have been watching you since I was little. You got me into the hobby and educated me on parts and types of locomotives. Thank you so much.
Oh,
You're the best.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you.
hearing that.
Yeah, Nerf Cat is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Well, Nerf Cat's with us in spirit.
That's true. That is true.
Instead, he gets to be up in the great beyond, harassing my grandparents for food.
Yeah. Yes, he did pass.
Every morning.
Last October.
Will you ever get another cat? Probably at some point, but I'm not gonna shop for one. I'm just gonna
No.
wait for the cat distribution system to throw one into my life.
Somebody wants the Yellowstone steam engine. Do we have that?
Yeah.
I also remember the video when you were trying to repair a GG1 and it fixed itself.
Yes, that later turned out to be the light fixture was damaged and it was causing an intermittent short circuit, so that's how it fixed itself.
The Yellowstone is coming up.
Alright, the Yellowstone is on the move.
What brand is the Daylight?
It's a Bachmann.
Yes, I'm glad I could finally catch a stream. Currently watching from my workbench where I have 32 locomotives awaiting work. You've inspired me to work on them, but I need to stop buying projects, lol.
Ain't that the truth? That's my problem. Yeah, I find live streams are a great way to work on stuff, though. Like, most of the times when I'm watching, like, GVO After Dark or Eminem Rails' live stream or one of Ron's live streams or any of the other Model Railroad live streams, I like to work on stuff. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. You work on some stuff and also get to kind of chat with other Model Railroaders out there.
Somebody wants the Hudson?
I think that I need to fix that one as well.
Ah. Well, 2 years ago I watched one of your repair videos for the first time and fell in love with the hobby. I built a table and started repairing an old Bachmann F7 Santa Fe, cracked gears.
That's awesome. It really does mean a lot to me to hear how many people have gotten into the hobby or gotten back into the hobby because of these videos. Because, you know, when I started this channel, the space on here was not that big. So I was just like, I don't know, I'm going to mess around with some trains and make some videos for fun. Oh man, that was bad.
Oh no.
It's a bit of an accident.
Uh-oh.
I did somehow rolled right off the layout.
My God,
and
how
it
did you
went
do that?
boom, 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 and then it fell down.
How did it do that?
I don't know. I didn't see what happened. I was looking away from it at the time. Hopefully it survived that. Luckily no one was hurt. Well, we'll find out.
Oh,
But yeah, not to cut off what I was saying there. No, it is meaningful because I was just making videos for fun, and so I never would have guessed that, you know, years later, channel would have over 220,000 subscribers and you know, hundreds of comments from people saying I'm back into this hobby because of the channel. All right, what's the damage?
the wrong engine fell. Oh boy. Does that look bad?
Well, it looks bad, but I don't know. I don't think anything actually broke.
Okay.
Looks the same to me so far. I'm curious to see if the motor and everything else did pop off this one detail, but
Okay. Oh well. Oh.
yeah, they don't build them like they used to, eh?
Is it normal? Is it so far away?
What's so far away?
Like the. Oh no. Okay. Never mind. It's part
No,
of it.
it's running exactly like it was before. I have no idea why it derailed that one time, but yeah, I'm proud that it survived that. I wish I had seen what had happened though. Like, I just don't get why it did that. It lives. And as for the front wheels locking up every so often, it was already doing that before. In fact, they've started moving again. So, yeah, she's all good. We'll stop running it before that happens again. It's probably, I don't know.
Hey SMT, I asked a few people and they said it's a good idea, but I wanted another opinion. I am sticking with HO scale, but what if I put a small loop of N scale in the middle of the track?
Hey, it's your layout. Do whatever you want with it. I know some people sometimes will add N scale or Z scale to their layout by making a scene where it's like people riding the train around, like you see at some museums and things like that. But yeah, I mean, is it going to be perfectly realistic? Not necessarily, but you know, the hobby is for fun. If you want to add some N scale stuff to your HO, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, there is a wrong way to model a railroad. It's to be miserable because you restrict yourself.
Oh.
All right, so here's the DCC lash up.
Oh, did you put? Oh, okay. Normal is going slow?
What?
The normal is going slow?
Yeah, this is what they call train show speed. So basically, you go to a train show.
Oh.
This is the speed that they run them at to make it realistic.
Oh, okay. Give me a honk, SMT, somebody says.
Is that good?
Oh, sorry.
Here, boy, press the button that the 2 key.
What?
Press the 2.
Where?
Right on there. There's a number pad.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hey everybody, this is Rail Fanning with Seth. Today we're on the mainline subdivision, waiting for some BNSF mixed freights. Chris says, what's on your want list at the moment? Well, I'm still looking for the green Hiawatha, if one even exists. I was searching again for that today. That's about it.
I don't know if I'm doing a good job.
Oh, no, it sounds great. My lifelike HO scale Santa Fe 3500 locomotive runs on DCC controls. Most DC engines will run on DCC if you put in 00. It's not ideal, but it works. You should do a video on how to build those bridges. Maybe I will at some point. There's really nothing that fancy about it. Like, this is just a piece of plywood. I added another, I think it was a 1x or something to the bottom of this just to keep it straight. And then the girders are just off some old Bachmann bridges, I think. I just pulled the girders off and glued them on. Nice. I got an MTH Union Pacific SD70 ACE for $180. It is in mint condition. Do you think it was a good deal on my part? If it runs well, yeah, I'd say so. MTH engines tend to go for a lot more of that, at least in my experience. Robert says my birthday is coming up on Thursday. I'll be doing something special. There'll be videos on it. Be sure to check it out when they premiere. Already. Need a real wood trestle. It would be nice. Building one is not a easy thing. But yeah. All in good time. Good evening, Harrison. What is that near that looks like an old Grand Prix? It looks like a giant hamburger.
What?
Grand Prix. I'm confused.
Look at
Are you talking about this car? I don't know what this is. Caddy, maybe?
I think he's talking about this.
Oh, yeah. This is these wooden caps that when this layout was originally built, these were put throughout it, and a lot of them have popped off. But I found one the other day, which is good because I can glue that back at some point.
I was thinking of giant hamburger.
Giant burger. What is Chloe's accent?
French Canadian.
Le Québécois.
Yes.
I'm still amazed you were able to reuse all the old layouts to make one mega layout. Yeah, so far it has gone pretty well. I mean, the industrial layout has pretty much been completely rebuilt, so that one didn't really make the move. But the original layout and the mountain layout both held up great. I'm really happy with how they're performing. So they wanted me to put the ditch lights on. I'm not even sure what command it is. I think it's 4, but let me try some different buttons here.
That changed the sound.
There it goes. 5 is the headlight. Oh, 6. Yeah, look at that. Four would be dynamic brake. Oh yeah.
I do with me.
What lamp do you recommend for lighting a layout? Mine is incredibly backlit and it looks terrible. I'm a pretty big fan of halogen lights. You can find these ones, they're meant for displays and things like that. You can put them at certain angles and stuff. I've also got these LEDs. I forget what brand these are, but these are really good. InLight. These are really good. I've been using them for years and they provide a nice light. The only trick is if you're just messing around with trains, it's not as important what lights you pick. If you're making videos, you actually have to be quite specific about what types of LEDs you get, because some of them mess with the camera lens a bit. Ditch lights are F6, I think. Yeah, you're right about that, Chris. Hey, SMT, I saw your Alaska Snowplow B unit in the corner. Can you please run it? I think you might have already run it. Me and my brother would love to see it. Yeah, I guess so, sure. Let's run it at the same time as the Santa Fe, or I mean the BNSF units. Whoops, that's not right. Yeah, there we go. We don't have alternate flashing ditch lights in Canada, although I think Go Transit has the flashing ditch lights. Yeah, I don't remember seeing any here myself, but it's possible. Oh man, that looks pretty cool with all three of them going by at the same time. Grass is either by Woodland Scenics, Group Up, Dyed Foam, or Dried Sawdust. Yeah, the stuff I have on my land is all Woodland Scenics, and according to the guys at my hobby shop, it's foam. I haven't heard of them using sawdust. Maybe they did at one point. Uh-oh.
What was that?
I think one of the cars came off the freight train. And then the Amtrak hit it. Oh, I've already got investigation music going. It's perfect. Yeah, it did derail. Oh no, not again. Bless you, Chloe. I believe the DCC controller will short out, shut down if you load it with too many engines. It should. I've noticed that it doesn't really have like a current draw meter, but this changes color depending on how much you're loading the controller with. And this is a 1.4 amp controller. I think that both of these engines take about, well, it's less than a quarter amp, maybe an eighth of an amp each. So with modern engines, there's plenty of power for all of them. When are you gonna finish the yard? I still need to sort out where that's all gonna go with building the mountain climbing section, but it's pretty close to done, honestly, other than adding detail. I was wrong, the DCS51 is a 3 amp system. I had always thought it was a 1.4 amp, but maybe. I wonder if it says on the back. Oh, you're right, it's a 3.5 amp controller. Wow. This thing is powerful. Well, in that case, I could probably run about 10 locomotives pretty comfortably. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if that's true, I think that would make the DCC controller, I think it would make it more powerful than my 9500 series. Up to 10 locomotives on the Zephyr. Yeah, well, if it's 3.5 amps, it should be able to handle that pretty comfortably too. I mean, again, a lot of modern engines use like a 1/10 of an amp or an 1/8 of an amp, so yeah, it should be able to handle that comfortably. No, just out of curiosity, I wonder how much amperage every engine on here would be using at the same time. I would say about 1.2 amps. That's my guess for all of this stuff. Let's see if I'm right about that. I'm just gonna stop everything before I do this. Okay, good. Now what I'm going to do here is we'll switch the layout over to all run on the same power system on DC. Yeah, so I mean, oh, it's even less than I expected. So everything on the layout right now is using 1 amp. That's just how efficient modern locomotives are. Anyway, I'll switch it back over to DC. I think that maybe something might have derailed over there. Let's see here. I hear the two BNSF engines throttling up, but I don't see the cars moving, so I don't know. Oh no, they are moving. Maybe it's not derailed, I don't know. Have Chloe go check.
I can. Which one?
Be appreciated. Just go see if the train over there is derailed.
This one?
Yeah. Does it look good?
I think so.
Oh, thank you, Chloe.
Coming.
WFRA inspector, yeah. In this case, the FRA stands for the French Railroad Ambassador.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The model 9500 has 3 amps of output. Well, yeah, so that confirms that the DCS51 is a more powerful controller than the 9500 series. I didn't know that until today. It's pretty wild to think that, like, this huge controller, which has a large transformer in it, is weaker than this. I know this has a wall wart, but still. Xander Nicole says they want to learn how to speak French Canadian.
What?
Xander Nicole says they want to learn how to speak French Canadian.
Oh, yeah. Should do another channel that shares in French.
Le petit train en français dans la belle province de Québec.
Yep.
Taberslack. Are you going to make separate videos repairing each American Flyer at some point? Probably not for the ones I got running, but definitely for the one that I did get running. I do want to do a complete breakdown on those and properly service them so that they last a long time, but now that they're running, I don't know, I just don't find it's as exciting making an entire video just fixing what already runs. Make it a members only video then. Yeah, I could. You have both BNSF units addressed the same. Yes, they are. Explains why they both have their lights on. Well, earlier just the front one had its lights on, the back one didn't, so I don't know what happened there, but I can tell that they're relatively well speed matched because I keep seeing the coupler. You see between them how the coupler keeps slacking and then tightening? SMT, is it possible to make a Hot Wheels RC car dead rail system in an HO scale locomotive? If you're asking if you can take a Hot Wheels RC car power plant and use that tech in an engine, I don't know if that would work, but yeah, it is possible to make a dead rail engine. You'd probably be better off maybe using something out of like a remote control helicopter or a larger RC car, something that's a little bit larger. I'm learning to speak French. I'm in Ontario. Where are you at? Nation's capital. Is that a new Merchants Row on the layout? This is the Merchants Row off that section of the layout. I moved it over here because I was just messing around with it. I'm not sure if it's going to stay here or not, but just trying to mess around with the buildings and just sort of figure out where everything is going to go. I'm really liking the way the industrial buildings are lining up. I think I'm going to leave them like that, but yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this space, and still need to figure some stuff out over there. What's your favorite DCC locomotive? It's probably these two scale trains units. I mean, they're identical with the exception of the numbers, so I can't really pick a favorite when they're the same, but yeah, I really like these things. The sound quality is great, the detail is great. I've always been a big fan of the pumpkins, so I always wanted one of these, and now I managed to get two of them, so yeah, pretty happy. I always enjoy your videos. It's fun to see you make trains that haven't run in a while, like in years, and get them running again, even though the state they're in. I find that depressing. Well, yeah, I mean, it's too bad, you know, some of these models fall into disrepair, but I kind of like the challenge of getting stuff that's been sitting for a long time going again. It's exciting. It's like, not meant to. There have been times that there was one time at a train show, there was a guy and he was selling an engine. He only wanted $1 for it. It was a Canadian Pacific F unit. I think it was made by not Model Power. What's that other one? Pemco. And yeah, the guy said this would be better off in a trash can than it would be on somebody's layout. It's never going to run again. The gears are ruined, like it's junk. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to buy this. And it ended up not even taking that much to get it going again. So yeah, I really like the cases that are bad. I watched the Super Loop channel. What do you think of Bachmann Spectrum? In the 90s, like if you compare a 90s regular Bachmann engine to a 90s Bachmann Spectrum, the Bachmann Spectrum engines were way better. Today, I don't feel like there's that big a difference. They are nicer, but mechanically, I don't think there's much difference. Do you use cork or foam roadbed? Cork all day long. I had foam roadbed. It gave me nothing but trouble. I know some people like it, but I never had a good experience with it. Cork is getting really hard to find, though. I don't know if there's a problem with Midwest cork products, but they seem to be sold out just about everywhere. And I was lucky because a couple of years ago, I bought a ton of cork. I just bought it in bulk, several boxes of it, and that was just to stock up. I didn't know that was going to happen. But I hope that they continue to make it, because it is my favorite. I've not seen cork roadbed for years. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I buy cork and sheets and cut out what I need. I've heard of a lot of people doing that. They buy like floor underlay and cut it up themselves. It's probably a lot cheaper than buying cork. I don't know. It might be a good business opportunity for somebody out there. Buy floor underlay, cut it yourself, make some sort of a cutting machine, and then sell it to railroaders. Do you think Easy Track is good for a starter layout? It gets the job done. It's not my first choice, but I was actually quite impressed because I was messing around with some Bachmann switches and they seem to be pretty compatible with a lot of equipment, so at least they got that part right. Next episode of Shark Tank. Yeah. There must be a way to cut cork easily. Like, I was kind of thinking about this, and maybe I shouldn't be sharing these ideas. Maybe this is like a good business venture, but if I could like take a block of wood and somehow attach a couple razors, like a block of wood that has two angled sides, and then attach a razor to either side. If you could just run that over a sheet of cork and have it slice through. I have no idea if that would work, but there's got to be a way to cut cork easily. I use shears to cut cork. I guess if they're long enough, they'd be... yeah, I guess like if you're talking about like garden clippers, like the long ones. A laser beam. I volunteer at a museum that has one layout with Easy Track, and it's not great, not much of an improvement over laying some standard sectional track. Yeah, I find Easy Track for like the long-term layout would not be a good option. I wouldn't construct a layout out of it. If you're just buying a train set and you want to set it up on the floor, like I said, it will get the job done, but a lot of it is steel, which also can develop problems over time, so if you can avoid it for constructing a layout, I would probably go with just about anything else. I use a Dremel with a cutter blade to cut cork. And Mutual Broadcast is a paper cutter. What do you recommend for a starter that wants to have grass, and what type of material is corkboard good? What kind of material is corkboard good? Like for laying out, for constructing a layout, I think you would need to have, if you're gonna like use cork over your entire layout, I think you would need to put down some kind of plywood first. I mean, I use OSB, which not everybody's a fan of, but if you put enough beams, it should be okay. Yeah, for grass, I just use bottles of Woodland Scenics. I have managed to manufacture my own model railroading grass. What I did was I went to the dollar store and I got those sponges. You know those sponges that you can buy? They're like blue and pink and all kinds of crazy colors. You take those and you soak them with paint, you let them dry, and then you shred them up, and I can actually make grass. Very time-consuming process, but it is cheaper than buying bottles of it. The snowblower is catching up with the other train. Yeah, it's true. No, it's not a Scrub Daddy. It's those, just those generic square sponges. Let me see if I can find some here. Almost dropped that light again. By these things, this is not the exact one I was talking about, because these ones have the Scotch-Brite on it. The ones I was talking about are just the foam. But yeah, you can buy 6 of these for $1, and you take them, you soak them in really cheap paint, like soak them until they're completely full. You let those dry for a few days, and then you shred them up. And you can also, some people actually will use Scotch-Brite as a ground cover. It looks very bright, you might want to recolor it, but there's that. And these Scotch-Brites can actually be used for cleaning track if you vacuum up the fibers after. Greetings from Flint, Michigan. Would you have a CN train with ore cars, like the DMIR, Sioux, or any other fallen flag? You should have a CN train with... Yeah, I'd be happy having some Sioux line cars. I like the Sioux line. Is the snowblower actually working? Yeah, it has a rotating set of blades on the front. This.
Oh.
Anyway, so 11:40 here, so I think I'm gonna finish off the live stream pretty soon, but I'll read off some last comments here. What happened to the giant Tycho Canadiana? I don't know where that is right now. I still have it though. I'm pretty sure it is here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. It's still around and well. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm happy I still have it. Need to do a Canadian lash up. I could throw the Canadiana on. What?
I wanted to see if I could feel the wind of it.
Oh yeah. You watch Classic Model Trains? Yeah, I've seen some of his videos. I'd like to see the Santa Fe he did. I'll show it quickly. I'm not going to run it today, but Yeah. This is the infamous Super Chief with trucks that pivot like crazy. It was really funny because around 2 years ago, I did a video where this was drifting around the layout. For whatever reason, that ended up getting 10 million views. And there were so many people in the comments who I think have just heard model trains are an expensive hobby. And then they see 3 of them glued together. And I mean, I made this out of junked parts. Like, this is all cracked because these were all destroyed shells, which I was going to throw away. So I just glued them all together and made this instead of throwing them in the garbage. But there were so many people in the comments of the 10 million view video saying, this kid, he's destroyed 3 really expensive model trains to build this garbage. And I was just like, it's not expensive. How would you make that? I just sawed off the ends of the shell and then I used a piece of wood. There's a video somewhere on the channel of putting that together. Love the new layout. I made some Amroad Silver Streak units. If you'd be interested in sending one. Thank you for the offer. I think I'll just convert one of my Canadian Pacific ones over to that. Anyway, I think we'll call it a night there. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone, and chatting. I really do appreciate it. And huge thanks to all the people who joined as members and sent in super chats. It will be put to good use, so thanks a bunch for that. And just before we finish things off, Chris says, you need to make the Santa Fe jump a ramp. Don't give me more ideas. Anyway, have a wonderful night.